Goes, new year, new you. So that idea also applies to politics. In Maryland, the legislative session just started, and lawmakers are laying out their major priorities for the year. I'll let Pete Montine explain.
Cigarettes, guns, and money have become top priorities in the Maryland State House. The legislative session just started in Annapolis. Democrats control both chambers. They got an even greater majority in November, even though voters re-elected a Republican governor. Here's what Democrats just laid out. They want to raise the state minimum wage to $15 per hour. Currently, the minimum wage is $10.10 per hour. The federal minimum, $7.25. The fight for 15 failed last year. The new bill calls for a gradual increase over the next 4 years, but opponents say this could hurt small businesses. Lawmakers want to raise one more thing, the age to buy cigarettes. 18 is the current law. They want to up that to 21 years old. It is likely that retailers that sell cigarettes will fight this too. Lawmakers also want to tackle something that sounds like science fiction. These are called ghost guns. They are made at home with 3D printers. They are impossible to track. A new bill would make it illegal to have one in the state. It would also outlaw anything used to make them. Building them is not against federal law. I posted more about these priorities on our website. Pete Montine, WUSA 9.